My name is Kendall Pretzer. I'm the CEO at Grace Hill, and I have been married to my husband Fred for 32 years, I think, in November. And I have two children. Allison is my oldest, and she is 25, and my son Ben is 21. I'm a mom, a tennis player, a sister, and I have a list of hobbies that I don't do as much as I'd like to. So I found out I had breast cancer through my normal annual mammogram. So with the pandemic, my normal mammogram got postponed. So I'm one of those ones that's really good. I go every year, and not because I have a family history, but just, I don't know, it's a good thing to do. So I had delayed my mammogram and ultimately kind of called and said, gosh, I need to do this. And so I went in and did it. And then they called me back and said, there was something funny. They wanted to look at it again. And so I showed back up, did the other mammogram. Then they did an ultrasound while I was there. And they kept going over this one place. And it's never good when the good nurse, the nice nurse, comes in and she says, I'll take it from here. And I thought, uh-oh. And so they pulled me into a room, and the doctor said, we need to do a biopsy, but this looks like cancer. And so then, I think the first reaction to that is shock and surprise. It doesn't run in my family. No, my mom didn't have breast cancer. I don't have sisters or grandmothers or anything that had breast cancer. And so I've always been super healthy. I felt fine. I felt great. I had no lump. I couldn't feel anything. And so when the doctor said, this is what I think it is, we'll do the biopsy tomorrow. I'll call you in a few days, to confirm. I kept saying, are you sure? Are you sure this is me? Are you sure you're not looking at somebody else's? I feel great. How can this be? And so that was a little bit of, my first reaction was just surprise. And then she ultimately called to confirm on my birthday. So that was not a good birthday present, but it is and is what it is. So I was diagnosed last September of 2020. So when I found out I had breast cancer and the doctor called to confirm, again, unless you've just had somebody go through this super personally, this is all a surprise, or at least it was for me. Certainly a shock, you sort of don't even know what to do first. And when the doctor called and said, you have breast cancer, she said, here's the type, here's what it is, here's how big it is, and she said, and I need to know the name of your surgeon. And that's the first thing you do, is you get launched into this whole project of research. And so I did what every girl does at first, I guess, and here's about this, is cried. And then I called everyone I could think of that had breast cancer. And I looked back, I have notes of 12 different women that I talked to through my initial research journey that all told me some different nugget. And everyone had something to contribute, something about their journey that somehow impacted me and my decisions. So it is a network of women that are so helpful. And, certainly I have seen that too. When someone now I hear has breast cancer, I stop and I say, and I start asking the questions so that can I tell them a nugget that will help them? When I told my family I had breast cancer, again, I've always been the healthy one. So for me to come and say, hey, this is going on, I think we all were shocked, because I'm usually the one in there moving the furniture and moving the boxes and, that sort of thing. So for all of a sudden, for me to be the one that's like, hey, I may not be as well as I think I am. My husband took it great. He was like, great, what do we do? And same thing with my kids, both of them were, it'll be fine, you'll be great, let's get through it, we'll do what we need to do. All of my family really took it as, what do we need to do? My sister, who's a big researcher, began to send me, 1 in 8 women have breast cancer, and you have the kind of cancer that's the most researched. And, she sent me all these kind of positive things about breast cancer. And you have to say that is one of the good things about breast cancer is, it is a highly researched cancer and has a very high survival rate. And, they hand you that pink bag, You don't love pink then. They hand you that pink bag and you're like, oh, thanks. But then after that, after you sort of get over the shock, then you begin to realize how much research and information is out there to really help guide your journey, because it begins a whole journey of decisions you have to make.